टॉपिक, चलिए इंडियन फेडरेशन एंड रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ स्टेट पर आज हम बात करते हैं। इंडियन फेडरेशन एंड रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ स्टेट। ठीक है, इस पर हम बात कर लेते हैं, रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ स्टेट पे। इसमें आएगा फेडरलिज्म। अब फेडरलिज्म क्या है, इस पर होगी बात। फेडरलिज्म, इस पर करते हैं बात। फेडरलिज्म क्या है? देखिए, फेडरल सिस्टम का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, हमने यूनिटरी सिस्टम तो लिया यूके से, लेकिन फेडरल सिस्टम हमने कनाडा और अमेरिका से लिया। फेडरल का मतलब है मल्टीपल गवर्नमेंट, यूनिटरी का मतलब है सिंगल गवर्नमेंट। तो जहां पर केवल एक सरकार होती है, स्टेट नहीं होता, लोकल गवर्नमेंट नहीं होती, वो सिंगल गवर्नमेंट या यूनिटरी सिस्टम कहलाते हैं। और फेडरलिज्म का मतलब है मल्टीपल गवर्नमेंट, पावर डिविजन्स, ठीक है, डिसेंट्रलाइज ऑफ पावर। दिस इज द फेडरलिज्म, यही फेडरलिज्म है। अब आप लिखिए जरा, फेडरलिज्म इज ए सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। फेडरलिज्म इज ए system of government in which the power is divided, government in which the power is divided between a central authority, divide between a central authority and various constituent unit of the country, various constitute unit of the country। दूसरा पॉइंट लिखिए, usually a federation has two level of government, usually a federation has two level of government, has two level of government. Federation has two level of government. One is the government for entire country, one is the government for entire country, one is the government for entire country, that is usually responsible for a, that is usually responsible for a few subject of common, few subject of common national interest, few subject of common national interest, common national interest। Next point, the other are government at the level of, the other are government at the level of provinces, government at the level of provinces are state, that provinces are state that look after much of day to day, look after much of day to day, day to day administering of their state, administering of their state। Both these level of government, both these level of government enjoy their power, level of government enjoy their power independently, enjoy their power independently। Next, there are two kinds of routes, there are two kinds of route through which federation, two kinds of route through which federation have been formed, federation have been formed। नंबर एक पॉइंट, the first route involve independent state, the first route involve independent state coming together, independent state coming together on their own to form a bigger, on their own to form a bigger unit, so that bigger unit, so that by pooling sovereignty, by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity and retaining identity. They can they can increase their security. This type of coming together, this type of coming together. Federation include the USA. Federation include the USA, Switzerland and Australia. Switzerland and Australia. Switzerland and Australia. Next point. The second route is where a large country. The second route is where a large country decide to divide its power. Decide to divide its power between the constitute state. Power between the constitute state and the national government of India and the national government of India. Spain and Belgium, government of India, Spain and Belgium are example of this kind of holding, are example of this kind of holding together federation, this kind of holding together federation. इंडियन फेडरलिज्म, अब अगला आएगा इंडियन फेडरलिज्म. इंडियन फेडरलिज्म ये आएगा, इसको लिखो. इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज डिक्लेयर्ड इंडिया. इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज डिक्लेयर्ड इंडिया to be a union of state. The Constitution of India has adopted federal feature, but it does not claim, that is establishes a federation, that is establishes a federation. Next, in the Indian Constitution, the word federation is not mentioned. Constitution, the word federation is not mentioned with regard to nature of Indian polity. With regard to nature of Indian polity. Next, article first. Of the Constitution describe India. Of the Constitution describe India as a union of state. As a union of state, which implies two things. Which implies two things. Firstly, it is not the result. Firstly, it is not the result of an agreement. Result of an agreement among the state. Agreement among the state. Secondly, the state have no freedom. The state had no freedom to secede or separate from the union beside the constitution of union. The constitutions of union and the state is a single framework. Within which they must function. The federation is a union. The federation is a union because it is indestructible, and help to maintain the unity of country, help to maintain the unity of country. अब लिखना नेचर ऑफ इंडियन फेडरलिज्म, अगला टॉपिक होगा नेचर ऑफ इंडियन फेडरलिज्म, इंडियन फेडरलिज्म। इसमें लिखिए जरा, इंडियन मॉडल ऑफ फेडरलिज्म, इंडियन मॉडल ऑफ फेडरलिज्म is called a quasi-federal system, as it contains major feature of both a federation and union as follows. पहला पॉइंट, flexibility of the constitution, फर्स्ट पॉइंट होगा flexibility of the constitution. The constitution is the blend flexibility and rigidity, certain provisions of constitution can be easily amended, in case the amendments seek to change aspect of federalism, in India, the provision to bring about such amendment is not easy. Next point, unequal representation of state in the Rajya Sabha, the representation of state in the upper house, is based on the state population, state's population. For example, Uttar Pradesh has 31 states. Uttar Pradesh has 31 seats and Goa has 1 in the Rajya Sabha. In an ideal federal system, all the states should have equal representation. Next, governors appointment, अगला पॉइंट होगा governors appointment. The governor of state act as the center representative, in the state as central government appoints. The governor, not the state government. अगला पॉइंट होगा ऑल इंडिया सर्विसेज. Through the all India services, all India services such as the Indian administrative services, such as the Indian administrative services, IAS, Indian police services, IPS, the center interference, the center interfere in the executive power of state, in the executive power of state. These services also offer uniformity in administration throughout the nations, throughout the nations, throughout the nation. अगला पॉइंट होगा मोर पावर वेस्ट विद द सेंटर, मोर पावर वेस्ट, more power west within the center, power west within the center, west within the center. Constitution guarantee more power, constitution guarantee more power with the union list, more power with the union list on the concurrent list of subject, on the concurrent list of subject. The parliament can make laws, that can override, the laws made by a state legislature, on some matter, on some matter. The parliament can also make laws regarding certain subject in the state list, subject in the state list. Conflict in India's federal system, अगला होगा conflict in India's federal system. Conflict in India's federal system. इस पे आओ. Federalism is the most relevant factor of modern constitutionalism. Federation is the most relevant factor of modern constitutionalism. The core objective of union federalism, Indian federalism, are unity in diversity, devolution in authority, and decentralization in administration, Some of conflict in smooth working, of Indian federalism, are as follows. First point, regional assertions versus central dominance. Regional assertion versus central dominance. Indian federalism has a bias. has a bias for central government. Bias for central governments. That's why state. That's why state have also sought to assert their interest. Sought to assert their interest and influence over the year. And influence over the year. Whether in time of one party. Whether in time of one party. Dominance or multi-party. Dominance or multi-party. Coalition politics. Multi-party coalition politics. The pluralist character of India. The pluralist character of India gives rise to many factors. Rise to many factors, including regionalism. Including regionalism. Regionalism. Absence of fiscal federalism. अगला पॉइंट होगा absence of fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism. Federalism. Fiscal federalism. Symmetrical sharing of revenue. Symmetrical sharing of revenue and resource. Khurch at the periphery result. Khurch as the periphery result in uneven development. Uneven development across the country. Across the country. The current goods and service tax GST. The current goods and service tax GST measure is feared by many states. Feared by many states to be against fiscal federation in India. To be against fiscal federation in India. Fiscal federation in India. Next point. Creations of linguistic state. Creations of linguistic state. Union government has the authority to make. Union government has the authority to make, unmake and remake state boundaries. Unmake and remake state boundaries. The push for regionalization. The push for regionalization from various language group. Various language group and tribal communities. And tribal communities compel the center to adopt a formalized arrangement of reorganizing federating state in India. Federating state in India. Next point होगा centralized planning. Although economic and social planning is found in the concurrent list of the 7th schedule to the constitution. Of the 7th schedule to the constitution. The union government has authority. The union government has authority over national and regional planning in India. Over national and regional planning in India. Centralized planning through the planning commission. Planning through the planning commission. Now Niti Ayog appointed by center. अगला है post independence consolidation of India. Independent consolidation of India. Post-independent consolidation of India. British India had two types of territories, provinces. Two type of territories, provinces, governed directly by British official who were responsible to the Governor General of India. Next point. Princely state under the control of local hereditary, having British government as the sovereign but enjoying autonomy based on the treaty. Next, when India gained independence on 15 August 1947, the British government dissolved their treaty relations. Government dissolved their treaty relations with the over 600 princely state, 600 princely state, who had the option of acceding, who had the option of acceding to either India or Pakistan, to either India or most of princely state joined India either voluntarily or by armed intervention, or by armed intervention, or intervention. Integration of princely state. Next होगा integration of princely state. Integration of princely state. इस पे आओ. India's first deputy prime minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a key role in the integration. Key role in the integration of princely state. Of princely state. Accession of princely state of Junagadh. Accession of princely state of Junagadh, Hyderabad, Kashmir and Manipur. Hyderabad, Kashmir and Manipur proved more difficult than the rest of princely state. Rest of princely state. फिर लिखना है जूनागढ़, JUNGH, Junagadh. It was a small state on the coast of Saurashtra, surrounded by Indian territory, without an Indian geographical. It was a small state on the coast of Saurashtra, surrounding by Indian territory, without any geographical adjustory with Pakistan. आगे लिखो. It is Nawab Mahawat Khan. It is Nawab Mahawat Khan who announced the accession of his state. Who announced the accession of his state to Pakistan. To Pakistan on 15 August 1947. Even though the majority of people, overwhelmingly Hindu, desired to join India. Next, Indian troops marched into the state. Later voting was held in the state in February 1948, which favored joining India. Hyderabad. The Nawab of Hyderabad succeeded in mobilizing a group of Orthodox Muslim called as Atiyadul Malsimin and a militia called Rajakars. They challenged the idea of Indian and hence finally a police action was taken by government of India in 1948, leading to the surrender of Hyderabad on 17 September of that year. Of 17 September of that year, the Nawab agreed to accede. The Nawab agreed to accede Hyderabad to India. Hyderabad to India. नेक्स्ट है कश्मीर. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट होगा कश्मीर. कश्मीर. It was neither a part of India nor Pakistan. It was neither a part of India nor Pakistan at the time of independence. At the time of independence, when on 22 October 1947, when on 22 October 1947, a section of Pakistanis, backed by their army, attacked Kashmir. The king of Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, requested to help from the Indian government. From the Indian government. Next point. After the Maharaja signed the instrument of accession, the Indian army was sent to help Kashmir. Sikkim. Till 1947, Sikkim was an Indian princely state ruled by the Chogwals in 1947. After the lapse of British paramountcy, Sikkim became a protectorate of India. Sikkim became an integral part of India. In 1975, the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act was enacted to make Sikkim a full-fledged state of Indian Union. Manipur. Ruler of Manipur state, Bodh Chandra Singh, signed an agreement prior to independence with the government of India to become a part of Indian Union. In 1948, legislative assembly elections were held under the pressure of public. Next. After that, Indian government pressurized the emperor of Manipur became a part of India, and as a result Manipur finally merged in India. खत्म. क्लास एंड करो.